As the astronauts continue to pose for pictures, Space Shuttle Atlantis is parked just outside Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Its permanent residence, with a grand opening scheduled for July next year. And awaiting its arrival are a throng of visitors at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Looking across the water and waving at the astronauts and welcoming Space Shuttle Atlantis. And this entire trek has been documented by members of the news media. A very historic day. Only 4 Space Shuttle orbiters will be on display across America, and one of them is in Florida, here at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. The Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex is Kennedy's official visitor center, but it's operated for NASA by Delaware North Company's Parks and Resorts, which does not receive any federally appropriated funds for the visitor complex. When Atlantis arrives inside the visitor complex, it will be parked and remain there this evening during a fireworks display that is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And ultimately, Atlantis will be rolled into its new home, the $100 million home that is under construction. And then final construction will be made on the building. Atlantis will be raised for display, and the grand opening will be set for July next year. And here we see a number of the astronauts who have been walking with Space Shuttle Atlantis. It appears Dan Brandenstein to the right of the picture. John Blaha is in the field of view. Paul Weitz. It appears to be Eileen Collins in the upper left of your picture.
I tried it earlier. They weren't picking up.
Kathy Thornton was also in the field of view. To the left of the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex sign, you see Space Shuttle Atlantis. And to the right of the sign, its new home. Atlantis is scheduled to arrive inside the gates outside of its new home at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. About 15 minutes from now. Atlantis is the only one of 4 shuttles that NASA retains ownership to. And in a signing ceremony at 10 o'clock today, NASA Administrator Charles Bolden signed the title of Atlantis over to Kennedy Space Center Director Bob Cabana. And that made official the transfer and the retirement of Atlantis and set the stage for its arrival at the visitor complex today to go on permanent display. With the Space Shuttle fleet retiring, Center Director Bob Cabana is overseeing a transformation of the Kennedy Space Center, preparing for multiple customers in the near future as Kennedy becomes a multi-user spaceport. Modifications are underway in a number of facilities to prepare for the NASA Orion and Space Launch System capsule and rocket, respectively, and for prospective commercial customers. The Orion capsule will make its first flight in 2014, a test flight. And Orion will be the next NASA vehicle replacing the shuttle to carry humans into space, this time on new ventures of exploration outside of low Earth orbit. And once again, Atlantis is on the move.